This man has become friends with a fish in a Wisconsin lake, and they meet up often to catch up and hang out. Scuba diver Rex Calubra met his friend Elvis, a smallmouth bass, during a freshwater dive in 2021. And since then, the friendship has blossomed so much that Rex even manages a TikTok for Elvis. During that first dive in 2021, Rex noticed that Elvis was sticking closer to him than most, displaying an unusual lack of fear. A couple weeks later, Rex returned to the lake, and Elvis swam right up to him to greet him. Rex fed him some crawfish, and says that now Elvis is completely obsessed with him. Elvis is recognizable not only by his uniquely friendly behavior, but also by a scar on his face, most likely from a catch-and-release encounter with a fisherman. During his second dive with his fish friend, Rex taught Elvis a special call, which he says is something like a gulping grunt. And now when he hears the grunt, Elvis swims up and tags along for each dive, for a total of 13 dives together over the past 2 years. And Elvis is even a little bit protective of his friend, warding off other fish if they get too close to Rex, acting as a little underwater personal security guard. And Rex keeps the exact location of Elvis's lake a secret, aiming to safeguard his friend from eager fishermen. And while Elvis continues to thrive, Rex continues to visit him and document their friendship on social media for all of us to enjoy. This 85-year-old diver became friends with a fish 30 years ago and still visits his friend nearly every day. Hiroyuki Arakawa was part of a scuba team that constructed an underwater Shinto shrine in the 90s. One day, he noticed a sheepshead wrasse with a badly injured mouth. Knowing that the fish probably wouldn't be able to feed herself because of the injury, he decided to help. And he cracked open shellfish for her with his hammer, feeding her 5 times a day for 10 days. The injury soon healed, and the fish was able to feed herself again, but she'd already strongly bonded with the man who had saved her. From then on, every day that he worked, she would come up to him, and she'd follow him around whether or not he had food to offer. He started looking forward to seeing her too, naming her Yoriko. After the underwater shrine was built, Hiroyuki was entrusted to oversee it, so he continued to visit it and his new friend regularly. And 3 decades later, the story is still the same. Hiroyuki is around, he rings an underwater bell near the shrine to let her know that he's there, and then she swims up to join him for his dive. The relationship is deeply meaningful for Hiroyuki, who says he has an amazing sense of accomplishment in his heart when describing their bond. This coconut octopus has a spy octopus friend who recently saved his life and even earned a little hug. The little spy octopus was placed in the Western Pacific coral reef to learn more about the animals in that area as part of a series by zoologist John Downer. Controlled from afar, it's a way to see how marine animals interact without humans having to get too close and affecting their natural behavior. The real coconut octopus had previously seen the robot and basically completely ignored it, but that changed quickly when some white-tipped sharks started roaming and it was time to find a hiding spot. Short on time, he picked a hollowed-out piece of bamboo, but that wasn't perfect because it didn't completely cover him, still leaving him vulnerable to an attack. But it was all he had, so he was going to have to just hope for the best, until his robot friend showed up wearing a coconut shell as a hat. More than just a sleek fashion statement, the coconut was exactly what the octopus needed to cover his hiding spot. And at first, it wasn't clear if he would accept the help and take the armored hat, but sure enough he did, carefully and stealthily dragging it over to the bamboo and then fastening it to the front as a door. With no available food, the sharks eventually moved on, and the octopus came out of hiding, embracing his new spy friend, possibly as a way to show a sense of companionship with this strange creature who had just saved his life.